Listen to the surface of our world. It is a place of endless noise, the crashing of waves against the shoreline, the howling of cyclonic winds, the relentless, chaotic hum of human civilization, a constant, unending bombardment of the senses. We are creatures of the surface. We are born in the light, and we thrive in the noise. But beneath the waves, the chaos dies. As you descend into the ocean, the world as you know it is systematically stripped away. First goes the light. At 200 meters, the vibrant reds and yellows of the sun are filtered out, leaving only a cold, penetrating blue. At 1,000 meters, you enter the midnight zone. The last photons of sunlight surrender to the crushing weight of the water. From here on, there is only eternal night. You continue to sink, past the abyssal plains, down into the deep trenches that scar the tectonic plates of our planet. 11,000 meters down, almost 7 miles beneath the surface of the Pacific Ocean. Welcome to the Challenger Deep, the very bottom of the Mariana Trench, the deepest, most isolated, and most hostile environment on planet Earth. Today, you are not just a visitor passing through. You are stationed here. You are sealed inside the Aegis deep-sea habitat, a state-of-the-art titanium pod bolted directly to the gray, silt-covered floor of the trench. Outside your reinforced quartz window, the pressure is an incomprehensible 16,000 pounds per square inch. It is the equivalent of having a commercial jetliner resting on every square inch of your body. If the titanium hull of your habitat were to fail, even by a microscopic fracture, the water would implode the structure in a fraction of a millisecond. You would be compressed into a biological mist before your nervous system could even register a warning. But the physical danger is not your greatest enemy down here. Your mission is to remain in this habitat alone for 1 full year. You have enough food. You have recycled oxygen, you have warmth, but you are about to discover that the human mind was never designed to survive the abyss. Day 14. The human brain is a processing engine. It evolved over millions of years to constantly receive, filter, and react to stimuli. Light, sound, touch, temperature changes. Down here, at the bottom of the world, you are deprived of almost all of it. This habitat is the ultimate sensory deprivation tank. At first, the silence is peaceful, a relief from the noise of the surface. But eventually, the silence becomes heavy. It becomes a physical weight. In the absence of external sound, your brain begins to amplify the internal. You start to hear the rhythmic, mechanical thumping of your own heart. It echoes in your ears like a drum. You hear the rush of blood squeezing through the capillaries in your neck. You hear the high-pitched electronic whine of your own nervous system operating. The silence is deafening. Day 45. You stare out the thick quartz window into the pitch-black water. When the visual cortex is starved of photons, it begins to panic. It searches for patterns in the darkness. When it finds none, it invents them. Scientists call this the prisoner's cinema. You start seeing flashes of non-existent light, geometric shapes pulsing in the void, and then the shadows begin to move. You think you see the silhouette of a massive, serpentine creature gliding just beyond the reach of your habitat's faint exterior lights. You see faces forming in the swirling silt. You blink, and they are gone. Is it a newly discovered apex predator of the HADAL zone? Or is your mind slowly fracturing under the crushing weight of absolute isolation? There's no one here to tell you the difference. Day 90. You are completely cut off from the sun, the moon, and the changing of the seasons. Without the natural cycle of day and night, your circadian rhythm unravels. Time loses all meaning. You sleep for 14 hours, wake up exhausted, and then stay awake for 2 days straight. A minute feels like an agonizing hour. A month feels like a fleeting dream. You are entombed in a place where time practically stands still, a living ghost haunting a metal box at the bottom of the world. But as you look closer at the darkness outside your window, you realize something profound. The abyss is not empty. You turn on the external floodlights, casting a beam of artificial white light into the freezing water. It is snowing. A continuous, gentle blizzard of white, flaky particles drifting slowly downward against the black backdrop. Marine biologists call it marine snow. It is not made of ice. It is a constant shower of organic detritus falling from the sunlit layers of the ocean miles above. It is made of dead algae, decaying microscopic organisms, fecal matter, and the rotting flesh of creatures that lived and died in the light. It is a morbid, beautiful rain. It takes weeks, sometimes months, for a single flake of marine snow to fall from the surface to the trench floor. Yet, this gentle rain of death is the lifeblood of the deep. It is the only source of energy for the alien ecosystem that exists down here. You watch as tiny, blind, pale scavengers, isopods and amphipods that look like oversized, ghostly insects, scuttle across the gray mud, feeding on the fallen snow. They have no eyes because there is nothing to see. They have no pigment because they do not need to hide from the sun. They are the ultimate recyclers, an entire world completely dependent on the scraps of a paradise they will never, ever experience. It is a slow, quiet, eternal cycle of life born from decay. But sometimes, the abyss receives a feast. Day 180. You are staring out the window when the marine snow suddenly stops. The water current shifts. A massive, dark shadow slowly descends from the blackness above, blocking out your lights. With a heavy, silent thud that sends a massive cloud of gray silt billowing into the water, a gargantuan carcass crashes onto the seafloor just 50 meters from your habitat. It is a blue whale, 90 tons of flesh and bone, dead and sinking for days from the surface, finally coming to rest at the absolute bottom of the earth. This is known as a whale fall. In the barren desert of the deep sea, a whale fall is an event of unimaginable scale. It is the equivalent of an oasis suddenly appearing in the Sahara. It delivers more food to the trench floor in a single moment than the marine snow provides in thousands of years. The scent of the carcass is carried by the slow, freezing currents for miles, and the abyss answers the call. Within days, the dead whale is completely swarmed. The scavengers arrive first. Giant, sluggish sleeper sharks, some over 20 feet long, emerge from the gloom to tear massive chunks of blubber from the corpse. Thousands of blind, slime-producing hagfish writhe and burrow perfectly into the meat, eating it from the inside out. Deep-sea crabs with long, spindly legs pick at the remains. It is a chaotic, horrific, and perfectly efficient feeding frenzy in the dark. Months pass. You watch from your window as the 90 tons of flesh are completely stripped away, leaving only a massive, cathedral-like structure of white bones resting on the mud. But the feast isn't over. The bones themselves are a treasure trove of lipids and fats. A new wave of colonizers arrives, alien-looking creatures called Osedax, terrifyingly known as zombie worms. They have no mouths, they have no stomachs. Instead, they secrete acid to dissolve the solid whalebone, sending root-like tendrils deep inside to absorb the nutrients. They cover the white skeleton in a thick, flowing carpet of bloody red and pink plumes. This single whale carcass, this one death, will sustain a localized, thriving ecosystem of deep-sea life for over a century. It is a beautiful, horrifying masterpiece of nature's efficiency, life thriving in the most hostile place imaginable, finding a way to exist in the permanent dark. Day 360. Your year in the abyss is almost over. You have survived the isolation. You have witnessed the slow, strange biology of the HADAL zone. You have looked out your window and felt a profound spiritual connection to this untouched, ancient, alien world. You feel as though you have stepped back in time to a place completely separated from the noise and destruction of human civilization. But then, the beam of your floodlight catches a reflection in the mud. It doesn't glow like a bioluminescent jellyfish. It doesn't move like a scavenger. You adjust the lights. You zoom in the external cameras. Half buried in the ancient gray silt of the Challenger Deep, sitting next to a billion-year-old rock, is a brightly colored, crumpled plastic grocery bag, a piece of human trash sitting 11 kilometers below the surface of the ocean. The psychological break is sudden and complete. You traveled to the most isolated, extreme, unreachable corner of the planet. You endured a year of crushing sensory deprivation to escape humanity, only to find that our garbage beat you here. The currents of the ocean carry our mistakes into the deepest, darkest trenches, where they will sit in the freezing, lightless water for thousands of years without degrading. There is no place on Earth untouched by us. We are a species capable of engineering a titanium habitat to survive 1,000 atmospheres of pressure. We have explored the moon. We are planning to conquer Mars. Yet, we have turned the most majestic, mysterious regions of our own home into a cosmic landfill. We are masters of the surface, but we are a poison to the deep. Your year is up. The recovery sequence initiates. The explosive bolts fire, releasing the ballast weights. Your habitat slowly begins the 11-kilometer ascent back to the surface. You leave the darkness behind. You watch the water outside your window turn from black to deep navy to bright, piercing blue. You break the surface. You see the sun for the first time in 365 days. It is blinding. The sound of the waves crashing against your pod is overwhelmingly loud. You have survived. Your body is intact. But as you look out at the sparkling, sunlit ocean, you know the truth. Your mind will never truly leave the abyss. You will forever carry the silence of the trench. You will remember the ghostly snow, the feasting monsters, and the immortal plastic bag resting in the dark. So, could you survive a year at the bottom of the Mariana Trench? Biologically, with the right technology, yes. Psychologically, the abyss takes a toll that no human mind is fully prepared to pay. What kind of isolation should we simulate next? Should we drift helplessly in the absolute void of deep space, cut off from all planets and stars? Or should we be stranded on the frozen, lightless surface of a rogue planet? Vote in the comments below and subscribe to HADAL if you are brave enough to explore the dark.